Greetings, readers. I'm Sarah Reed, the Reader's Advisory Librarian at the Oshkosh Public Library, and this is Book Buzz, the November 2024 edition, the show where I give you a list of some of the exciting new releases out this month and some recommendations for what to read while you're waiting. We've got a bunch of exciting new releases here in November as we approach the end of the year and the last big publishing push release, so we've got some really fun ones in store for you. First up, for literary readers, Haruki Murakami has a new book out November 19th, The City and Its Uncertain Walls. We begin with a nameless young couple, a boy and a girl, teenagers in love. One day, she disappears, and her absence haunts him for the rest of his life. Thus begins a search for this lost love that takes the man into the middle age and on a journey between the real world and another world, a mysterious, perhaps imaginary, walled town where unicorns roam, where a gatekeeper determines who can enter and who must remain behind, and where shadows become untethered from their selves. Listening to his own dreams and premonitions, the man leaves his life in Tokyo behind and ventures to a small mountain town where he becomes the head librarian, only to learn the mysterious circumstances surrounding the gentleman who had the job before him. As the seasons pass and the man grows more uncertain about the porous boundaries between these two worlds, he meets a strange young boy who helps him see what he's been missing all along. For another book with surreal journeys through parallel worlds, try The City and the City by China Miéville, one of my personal favorite books. For general fiction readers, Niall Williams has a new one out, also November 19th, Time of the Child. Dr. Jack Troy was born and raised in Faha, but his responsibilities for the sick and his care for the dying mean he has always been set apart from the town. His eldest daughter, Ronnie, has grown up in her father's shadow and remains there, having missed one chance at love and passed up another offer of marriage from an unsuitable man. But in the Advent season of 1962, as the town readies itself for Christmas, Ronnie and Dr. Troy's lives are turned upside down when a baby is left in their care. As the winter passes, father and daughter's lives, the understanding of their family, and their role in the community are changed forever. Set over the course of one December in the same village as William's beloved This Is Happiness, Time of the Child is a tender return to Faha for readers who know its charms and a heartwarming welcome to new readers entering for the very first time. For another book involving found family bonds set in rural Ireland, try Foster by Claire Keegan. Another one of my personal favorites. Mystery readers, you have a new Stephanie Plum book out from Janet Ivanovich, also on November 19th. Another good day for taking off and reading, maybe. She said yes to Morley. She said yes to Ranger. Now Stephanie Plum has two fiancés and no idea what to do about it. But the way things are going, she might not live long enough to marry anyone. While Stephanie stalls for time, she buries herself in her work as a bounty hunter, tracking down an unusually varied assortment of fugitives from justice. There's Eugene Fleck, a seemingly sweet online influencer who might also be YouTube star Robin Hoodie, masked hero to the homeless who hijacks delivery trucks and distributes their contents to the needy. She's also on the trail of Bruno Jug, a wealthy and connected man in the wholesale produce business who is rumored to traffic young girls alongside lettuce and tomatoes. Most terrifying of all is Zoran, a laundromat manager by day and self-proclaimed vampire by night, with a taste for the blood of pretty girls. When he shows up on Stephanie's doorstep, it's not for the meatloaf dinner. With timely assists from her stalwart supporters Lula, Connie, and Grandma Mazur, Stephanie uses every trick in the book to reel in these men, but only she can decide what to do about the two men she actually loves. She can't hold Ranger and Morley at bay for long, and she's keeping a secret from them that is the biggest bombshell of all. Now or never, she's got to make the decision of a lifetime. If you're looking for more comedic mystery series, try El Casimano's Finley Donovan series, starting with Finley Donovan is Killing It. For romance readers, Tara DeWitt has a new novel out November 12th called The Co-op. Lorin Levine and Deacon Leeds had one shot at a contentious summer fling when they were teens, certainly nothing to build a foundation on. But a decade later, when their grandmothers have left them with shared ownership of their dilapidated Santa Cruz building, They're thrust back together and have to figure out how to brace up the pieces. Lorraine has the money, but in order to access her trust, she has to be married. Deacon has the construction expertise, but lacks the funds. A deal is struck. Marry for however long it takes to fix up the property, collect a profit, and cut ties. Thrust into a home without walls, Lorraine and Deacon quickly learn that it's easy to hide behind emotional ones, even in a marriage. But with all the exposure and pitfalls that come with living with the opposite sex, and none of the perks, much to their growing mutual frustration, they'll also have to learn what it means to truly cooperate as a team. Filled with crackling tension, The Co-op is a steamy second-chance romance about restoration and renovation, and uncovering all the things that build character within ourselves. It's about the never-ending construction project that a partnership is, and finding enjoyment at every stage. For another contemporary marriage of convenience novel, try Would You Rather by Allison Ashley. Science fiction readers, you have an exciting new book out from Maurice Broaddus called Breath of Oblivion, out November 12th. Maurice Broaddus's Breath of Oblivion is the second book in the Astra Black trilogy, where the futuristic technology of Black Panther meets the scale of the Expanse and the intricate political maneuverings of Game of Thrones. Beyond the Oran Gate, Epic Row and her elite soldiers are stranded. Capturing an alien ship and searching for a way home, they discover a stowaway who may be the key to overcoming the alien forces swarming all around them. On board the Cypher, Captain Stacia Chikeke is struggling to keep her ship and its fractured crew together, but the discovery of an interstellar phenomenon and the opportunity to explore unites them in a singular purpose, for now. In the slums of Indianapolis, Wachiro Adisa works to free the children of the diaspora detained in Old Earth facilities, only to be captured and sent to a nightmarish criminal justice facility, the Panopticon. On Old Earth, Ishant Sangsuwangul is newly assigned liaison to the corporate entity running the government there. He feels like a prisoner, but must find a way to stem the tide of conflict as animosity toward his people grows. In the Badlands of Mars, Amachi Adisa and her new teacher, Nahanda, begin her training to learn from her past, charter her future, and unlock the power that is her birthright. In the Dreaming City, the lunar heart of Mungano power, Mulana Buhari struggles with how to lead his people. Is now the time for isolation or aggression? Together, they and all of Mungano will guide the empire forward by any means necessary, as enemies of old and new extraterrestrial threats mount. For another great read featuring African futurism, space exploration, epic fates, and alien species, check out one of my personal favorite science fiction trilogies, Binti by Nnedi Okorafor. Fantasy readers. Carissa Broadbent has a new book out, also on November 19th. It's a big day. Songbird and Heart of Stone, latest in the Crowns of Neaxia series. Mishi lost everything when she was forcibly turned into a vampire. Her home, her humanity, and most devastating of all, the love of the sun god to whom she had devoted her life. Now sentenced to death for murdering the vampire prince who turned her, redemption feels impossible. But when Mishi is saved by Asar, the bastard prince of the House of Shadow, with a past as brutal as his scars, she's forced into a mission worse than execution, a journey to the underworld to resurrect the god of death himself. Yet Mishi's punishment may be the key to her salvation. In a secret meeting, her sun god commands her to help Asar in his mission, only to betray him by killing the god of death. Mishi and Asar must travel the treacherous path of the underworld, facing trials, beasts, and the vengeful ghosts of their pasts. But most dangerous of all is the alluring call of the darkness and her forbidden attraction to Asar, a burgeoning bond that risks invoking the wrath of the gods. As her betrayal looms, the underworld closes in, and angry gods grow restless. Mishi will be forced to choose between the redemption of the sun or the damnation of the darkness. If you're a fan of this series and need more to read between volumes, try Jennifer Armentrout's From Blood and Ash series in the meantime. Last up for nonfiction readers, there is a new exciting book about the Endurance, the discovery of Shackleton's legendary ship by John Shears and Vincent Nico, coming out November 5th. This is the amazing story in the words and images of the historic discovery of the wreck of Ernest Shackleton's Endurance deep beneath the ice of Antarctica. In March 2022, an international polar expedition team made an astonishing find: the wreck of Ernest Shackleton's legendary Endurance, lost in 1915 after being crushed by ice and then swallowed by the Weddell Sea. The harrowing story of Shackleton's survival and rescue of all 27 men aboard is well known, but the ship has lain unseen for a century, 10,000 feet underwater until now. The vessel remains incredibly intact, as crystal clear photography and digital scans from the expedition reveal. A thrilling first-hand account of the expedition, co-authored by its leader and deputy leader, this is the first and only book to fully document the discovery, produced in full cooperation with the Falklands Maritime Heritage Trust. Looks like a very exciting book. And if you're interested in learning more about the journey that resulted in this shipwreck, check out Endurance: Shackleton's Incredible Voyage by Alfred Lansing. So that's just a handful of the exciting new releases this month. Come by the library, check them out, check out all our other new books, put some books on hold, and in the meantime, check out these recommendations and maybe even ask us for more recommendations. We love recommending books. And we'll do some more of that next month. I'll see you then. Bye.